I keep falling. Hello and welcome to another rockin' Refashionista video. Today I am going to share with you my fave blazer refashions from, when I first started. Like, this one is seriously one of the first refashions I ever did, all the way up to today, where I will be sharing my fantastic no-sew trick for taking in a blazer. So let's get making!
This is Confessions of a Refashionista.
So let's start with this one. As I said, this was one of the first items that I ever got brave enough to chop and refashion. And it started out as a very long and tacky blazer dress kind of situation. And so I simply, chopped it and created this awesome cropped blazer. And I'll show you too what I did with the leftovers. I made a adorable skirt that, I basically made a suit out of a very long and tacky blazer. And this tutorial was actually part of my first published book, Confessions of a Refashionista, Life on the Zigzag, from 2012. Now, I self-published this book, designed it, did everything for it, all the marketing, and I did actually sell all, I believe, 250 copies that I paid to have printed. Now, look, there's the tutorial. Ooh. Now, something that is quite interesting, because I was living in Berlin, Germany, when I wrote and created and published this book. I actually had to, by law, send 2 copies of it to the Deutsche Nationalbibliothek, which is basically an archive of every book that has ever been published in Germany. And regardless if it is professionally published by a big publishing house or a book that is self-published, like my little book baby here, you have to send 2 copies to this Deutsche Nationalbibliothek archive. So, I mean, it's kind of cool that my first little book baby here actually lives in this National German Book Archive for all eternity. Next up on the journey through my past blazer refashions, we have this beauty. And now I love this one. Unfortunately, it doesn't fit me anymore, but it is fantastic. I loved it when I got it at the thrift store when I was living in Berlin, because it's so soft. It's a wonderful brushed corduroy, and of course cool and vintage and everything, but it was quite plain. So I took a vintage necktie. I think these are just the scraps from another project that I did. And, stitched it around the collar here. And then on all the buttons, I did a coordinating embroidery thread. So a very, very simple refashion, but with pretty dramatic results. And as with all of these tutorials, all the links can be found down below. Here is one of my absolute favorites because it is so colorful and so whimsical and so fun and so simple. La la! The Pom-Pom Blazer! Now, I'd actually created this tutorial for my fellow blogger, Allison, over at Dream a Little Bigger. So shout out to Allison. Go to dreamalittlebigger.com. She is fantastic and has loads of fab tutorials. And this is, again, so simple. It was just a plain kind of tuxedo style jacket. And first, I actually I started stitching these on individually, but very soon realized, that's going to take forever. So I ended up using fabric glue. Now, this has withstood more than a few years of gentle washing. I do spot washing, but when it does need an actual wash, I put it in a lingerie bag and wash on the delicate cycle in cold. And in, like, look, they've totally stayed. So yay for the Euro shop fabric glue that I got in Germany. Here is another one. I adore this one because, again, it was a super dramatic change. And yeah, I even signed it just because, you know, I do that sometimes. I'm, I guess, a weirdo, so I sign my art. Yeah, so let's actually take a look at the before.
It would be a crime to not stick around and see what Sherry's going to transform this awesome 80s blazer into.
So, yeah, quite a dramatic change. And I mean, this here, this cool trim that, how groovy is that? This was actually a belt from a vintage dress. And again, here's some more trim around here that just I had in my stash, vintage button. And of course, you know, it was dyed. Now I wanted it to be super duper red, but because it was mostly polyester, you know, that groovy polyester blend 80s fabric, it didn't take the dye as well as I wanted, but it still came out this wonderful pink. And you can see the little cotton bits in the vest actually took the dye darker. So yeah, actually it came out better than I had imagined it would. If you appreciate all of the hard work that goes on behind the scenes and want me to continue making fab-free videos, then please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button, plus the notification bell, and share your fave video tutorials with your online circles. And let's get everyone living a more rockin', refashionista sustainable lifestyle, because being eco-friendly shouldn't cost the earth. Now the next one was for my fab split sleeve blazer, and that one has actually been sold in one of my shop my closets. So fantastic. I'll put the link down below if you want to check out my closet and shop it yourself. But I did actually end up making another one because I had to for one of my fab celeb thrifty copycat looks. This one was of Laura Prepon, and I actually shared all the details behind that in another video, so I shall link that down below as well. But yeah, it came out, I think, pretty good, and I did actually end up adding some lace here just to the inside where the sleeves, you know, were split open because it was fraying a lot. So that's just a little tip. If you do have any interior seams that are fraying, sew some lace over the top of it, and it kind of contains the fray and looks kind of cool actually when you're waving your arms around. This one I wear all the time. I absolutely love it, and you shall see why. But first, let's have a look at the before.
Hello? Yes, that's right. Today Sherry's going to show you how easy it is to transform a boxy blazer into something that's fantastic to wear for the coming spring weather. Okay? Bye-bye.
So I took it from pretty boxy to absolutely lovely and brilliant. I mean, come on. It is so cool now, and it goes with so many different things. You know, I can wear it with the sleeves rolled up, rolled down, open, closed, and of course it has this wonderful love rainbow unicorn on it. And yeah, I definitely stand out in a crowd when I wear this. My lovely leopard collar blazer was another celeb copycat creation. Do you remember which one it was from? No? This was from my groovy and desperately seeking Susan, Patricia Arquette, and Madonna 1980s copycat. And I mean, again, tutorials over on the site. I love this one as well. Plus, it's actually quite warm, so I can throw it over a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt on chilly days and put a scarf, and I'm actually fine to go outside. Not so perfect when it's, you know, snowing in winter, but it is wonderful for just a kind of throw on and go jacket. This next one I actually had thrifted online, and when it came, it was fabulous and oh so cool, but there was a kind of hole in the back right near the collar, and I was thinking, how can I mend this? It's such an awkward spot, you can't really stitch it up because it looked like a cigarette burn, which is, I mean, another reason, stop smoking. If I can do it, anybody can. So then I found this adorable patch in my stash, and it was the perfect size to cover that up. And, it's all glittery and cool, and yeah, actually quite a similar color blue as well. So, I mean, again, patches are wonderful for patching, right? That's what they were invented for covering up holes and patching things. So why not use them? And one of my more recent ones was, this really boxy, boring blazer. But, yeah, again, let's look at the before.
So if you have a boring, boxy blazer at the back of your closet and you want to make it cool, Sherry's going to show you how to do that today.
And ta-da! I adore this one. I have worn this so much since making it, just a couple of weeks ago. And I mean, sure, I'm wearing it around my house because, we're on lockdown and everything, but it is awesome. It's fantastic for dancing around and waving the sleeves around. And I mean, it is just so super fun. So now I really cannot wait to, find some more scraps in my stash and see what else I can add groovy bell sleeves to. And finally, the as promised no-sew blazer hack. And, when you have a boxy blazer, sometimes you want to take in the waist a little bit. You don't want to wear a belt, so grab a brooch and simply, gather that. Put your brooch on it to hold it in place, and your blazer is taken in on the sides just enough that it gives you more of a waist shape and is not so boxy looking. That brooch trick actually works for like anything that has a boxy fit to it, from blouses to dresses to t-shirts. But on t-shirts, you want to use kind of a thin, light brooch or safety pins. So I think I'm gonna try that actually. Safety pins going all the way up the back. Maybe do smaller ones in the center and then getting wider. Yeah, let's give that a try. Come on, a new video coming up. Let's try that. As always, for more tips, tricks, and rockin' Refashionista tutorials, head on over to my refashionistasherry.com. There's everything you need over there to start your affordable, sustainable lifestyle journey. And until next time, stay safe, stay well, and I'll catch ya on the zigzag.